Hi folks, today we're just going to have a look at the ST322 stainless steel swivel. Now because these do have moving parts, they will inevitably leak given a period of time. And there's a bushing kit in here and a seal kit. So what we're going to do is take it over to the bench and we'll show you how to replace them. Okay, so the tools you're going to need, we've got some outer circlip pliers, so these actually pull the actual circlip apart. We've got a 30mm wrench or spanner. We've got a pick and we've got some grease, some pump grease. So the first thing we're going to do is just remove this circlip, which is can be a bit fiddly. That's it. There we go. Put that safely out of the way, and now we can push the swivel part through the base. There's a washer on the top there, so just make sure you put that in sequence. So now we've got the main actual assembly. We're going to change the bushings here and we're going to change the two rubber seals. So we're going to show you how to do that now. So what we've got, the two bushings in the kit. This is the repair kit. We've got two slightly thicker plastic shims, I would call them, rather than seals, and then we've got two rubber o-ring seals there to go in place. So what I'm going to do is remove these, and I'm just simply going to put my pick in there and just remove this, put them to one side. Okay, so what I've done, I've just gone with a knife and I've just gone across the top at an angle of each of the actual outer bushing, rubber bushing. This isn't actually the o-ring part, this is the seal part, so it's like a wiper seal. So we're just taking that off there. Do the same with the other one. Okay, so now we can see the o-ring. So in some cases you can just simply squeeze them together with your fingers, but in this case we can't, so we're going to have to use the pick, and we're going to have to go in. Oops, I was stabbing myself. And I've done the same thing there, so I've broken the actual o-ring. So we'll try and do the same with that one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is just give it a nice clean up. We don't want anything in there, any debris, bits of rubber. Just make sure that washer's still in place. So there's the stainless washer there, that just sits to that point there. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do, using the tool, you simply put this over the whole lot onto the back there. Now I've got one of the bushes, so just carefully we can push the bush over the top. They don't seem to be handed, these, so it doesn't matter which way around you put it on, and just watch it click back into place. Okay, so now we can simply pull it back so you've got the slot exposed. And what I'm going to do now is just use put a bit of grease, just a very small amount. Around the actual seating point for the o-ring. So, okay, so now we can put the o-ring on. Okay, so we've got the o-ring on there, and now we want the seal itself. I'm going to push this on because I've got to push this on, but importantly you've got to keep these square, so you don't want it to turn. So we push it all the way on there, and now we've got to get it so it just drops in onto the itself. So the next thing I'm going to do is just turn it and just make sure that it's not twisted in anywhere, which it isn't. Okay, and now we've got the actual bushing tool, and if you look, it's got a chamfered edge on the inside, so you don't want to be using the square side, use the chamfered side. You can pull this off and just push this on, and just make sure that it's square and seated. Which it is. Okay, so now it's simply a case of doing the same with the opposite side. So I'll put some grease on first. So again, put the tool on. And I think if you could be forgiven for just sort of pushing it up, and you've got something to push against, you put it right up to the end. I'm going to push this on like that. Now I can bring it back, just carefully let it drop into the actual female part. Okay, so now we've got the bush itself, the cleaning part. Again, I'm going to push it all the way up and just push this on. Again, I don't want to twist it, so I'm going to push it all the way in again. Pull it back, and then again, just watch it drop into the ring itself. Okay, so the next thing is we can put the bushing itself on there. So I'm just going to push that on like that, and again just pull it back and just let it drop into place. There we go. Okay, so that's the wiper seals and the actual bushings replaced. Okay, and lastly, just use this tool again and just make sure that it's seated. You can turn it all the way around. So it's winding up. That's it. And that should be alright. Okay, so we've got everything lined up, and we'll just gently, oops, drop that into there like that. And again, just make sure everything's sitting nicely and flush. Okay, so we've got it pushed in, and now we can just gently push it all the way in like that. Again, just turn it, make sure it's smooth. Lock it in place, and lastly all we need to do is put the ring on the top and then the snap ring. It's always a good idea. Keep your finger on the top, and then it doesn't disappear when you do this, because it can be a bit fiddly. There you go. Just again, just turn that, make sure it's in, and which it is. And that completes basically a service of a swivel.